The brighter the better on these tie-dye tiles. Take a look. You can use your handprint pushed down into clay to make this really funky tile. You're going to need some air dry clay, a rolling pin, paintbrush, straws, paint pens, some plastic lacing, maybe some gloves, maybe not, depending on how messy you want to get, acrylic paint, paper towel, some shaving cream, and some food coloring. Okay, to get started, we're just gonna roll a tile, and you wanna make sure you keep your clay covered until you're ready to use it, because this is air drying clay, so the more exposed to air it is, the more it'll dry out. So we're just gonna tear off about half of it, half a block, depending on how big your hand is. Okay. That's a little bit more than half. And just cover this back up so it stays nice and sealed. You may even want to put it in another plastic bag if you're going to store it for later. So you're just going to kind of bunch this up, and this stuff is so lightweight. It feels really fun to hold on to. And you're just going to roll out a shape into kind of a rectangle. It doesn't have to be perfect, and your edges are going to look kind of crackly and torn, and that's okay because these are wacky tiles. So you're just going to keep rolling, and you want it to be like 1/2 inch thick, approximately 1/2 to 3/8 thick. And once you get the size you need, you just need to check it against your hand. And so once your hand fits, you're just going to push your hand down into the clay, and you'll need to use your other hand to kind of make sure you get everything pushed in evenly so you get a nice hand imprint. You could maybe even get your dog to make an imprint. Okay, and then you're going to follow it up with a straw on 2 sides to make some holes. And this is if you want to hang it for later. If you just want to glue a magnet on the back of it, you can, or if you want to prop it up on an easel, you can. So we're going to set that aside on like a cookie rack or something where it'll get nice and dry on both sides. And I've got one ready to go. Now for the fun part. Let's decorate it with some non-traditional painting techniques. I need some rubber gloves because this is going to get kind of messy. And actually, I'm going to put a piece of paper towel underneath. And I need my shaving cream. And what you're going to do is put kind of a crazy amount of shaving cream onto your tile. And then you can add drops of whatever color, food coloring you want. Now, I like to stay either warm colors together or cool colors together. So warm colors would be yellow and red, and cool colors would be more like greens and blues and purples. That way, when you get your tie-dye effect going, nothing turns into a muddy brown. That's no fun. So you just squirt this around, and then you can use a paintbrush to kind of spread it on and blot it. And once you get this completely covered, all of that color is going to soak into your tile at different points and smear it around and look really, really cool. So once you get this entirely spread around, then you're going to wipe it clean with a paper towel. And this takes a little bit of time. Definitely something good to do outside because, or maybe even in the bathtub, I don't know. But you're just going to blot this all off with as many paper towels as you need until you have something that's really looking like this. Okay, so now I don't need my rubber gloves anymore. Okay, now let's paint the hand, because the handprint's not showing up that much right now. So we're going to just kind of dip our paintbrush in some water and then into some paint and a little bit more water to make it kind of more like a stain versus so heavy. And then you can let it kind of seep down in to your handprint. This is one I did with my nephew. You can see he even spelled out his name and the date. We had fun making these out at the picnic table. So you're just going to paint inside your handprint, and I should clean up my lines a little bit. And you would just keep going and doing all the fingers, and you could even go over your name. And then you're gonna have something like this. And to finish it off, I thought it'd be kind of fun to add some polka dots with these paint pins around the border. And you could even add some yellow ones also, or maybe even some tiny yellow ones around polka dots, just to make it a little bit more interesting and add a little border to your hand. And then I cut some plastic lacing, and you can tie this, thread it through one of the holes, and tie it in a knot. And then you're gonna go and do the exact same thing on the other side. You can make it as long as you want, but you can hang this on a door or wherever. But this is a super fun present for your dad or whoever. So I hope you've had fun today. I know I did. It's great to make things just to be crazy.